Having more is not always better. We can overdo anything that makes us feel good. We can overdo food, exercise, sleep, shopping, entertainment. Even things that are really good for us can be overdone. So today's intention is built around non-excess. And it asks for us to notice when enough has quietly turned into being excessive and return us to a way of living that treats each moment as sacred. Good morning. I'm Sandy. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, fill your lungs fully and completely, and then let it go and settle into the moment. And notice today when you already feel full, rushed, overstimulated, or stretched beyond enough. Excess often begins with something that's perfectly good, a beautiful dinner, a project, entertainment, or ambition. The problem is not necessarily the thing itself. It's the moment we keep going after the experience and it's no longer nourishing. So if we eat past satisfaction, then we start to feel heavy and weighed down. If we work past usefulness, we feel depleted. If we keep consuming stimulation, then we lose the quiet stillness that we actually need. Think of this as forgetting the sacredness of life. Excess begins to impose itself on the joy of the moment. Where in my life has a little more stopped adding anything that is better and instead started taking things away and depleting? Brahmacharya has traditionally been interpreted rather in several ways. One of the ways is celibacy or restraint. It's presented more broadly, though, as walking with God or living in a state that is holy, moving through life with awareness of the sacredness of life. It asks us to leave greed and excess behind and enter our actions with reverence instead of indulgence. The goal here isn't deprivation. It's to let the food, the work, the rest, the pleasure be life-giving rather than excessive. Think of this as an everyday example. You sit down to a meal, you're starving, and the meal is beautiful and delicious. Halfway through, your body is now satisfied, but you continue to eat because there's still food on the plate and because it tastes so good. 10 minutes later, the pleasure has now been replaced by heaviness. So non-excess is noticing the point of enough while the experience is still nourishing. Think of the example of screens and entertainment. So maybe you sit down to watch one episode of a show or just spend a few minutes scrolling because you want to relax for a bit before you start the next thing. After a few minutes, you're no longer enjoying it, but you just keep going automatically. You finally stop much later, but now you feel scattered, depleted, and not restored. So non-excess is recognizing when the pleasure has ended and it's crossed over into compulsion and choosing to stop before it steals your peace. None of these things are inherently wrong. The practice is learning to recognize the line between enjoyment and excess. So ask yourself today, what in my life is still good in itself, but it becomes less life-giving when I move past the point of enough? Consider the food you consume, work, your sleep, spending habits, social media, any area of your life where things just become automatic. Remind them that moderation is not punishment. It protects the goodness of the thing before the excess turns into heaviness. So today's action is to choose one point of enough to notice before the second serving, before the next task or the next purchase. Pause for a breath and ask yourself, is this still nourishing me, or am I crossing from enjoyment over into excess? Try stopping one step earlier than usual and notice what becomes available to you. Perhaps you'll have more ease, energy, gratitude, or presence. Say this intention with me. Take a slow, deep breath in first. Fill your lungs. Relax on the exhalation and follow with me. Today, I practice non-excess by honoring enough. I enjoy what is life-giving without asking it to carry me into excess. I pause before taking more food, doing more work, more stimulation. I remember the sacredness of the moment I am already in. I choose moderation, not as deprivation, but as a way of protecting my energy, my joy, and my capacity to be present. Remember, you may not get to choose everything this day brings your way, but you can choose how you meet it. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. Until tomorrow, be well and meet your day with purpose. Namaste.